Coming down to the National Arts Festival here in Grahamstown. There's so much buzz happening all over the place, no matter where you go. It's just a hive of activity with so many different productions in every single little room or hall or you name it. It's got something happening. And so I suppose this is one place to come and feed your soul. Well, this is a place that people have been coming for 42 years now to feed their souls. And it just seems to be getting bigger and better every single year. So here we are at the National Arts Festival in Grahamstown. It's been running since last week. I think it officially opened last week, Wednesday or Thursday, and it's running until the 10th of July. So you've got some time to still get down here if you haven't, in fact, already booked your tickets and come down. But let's talk to the organizer of all of this, the CEO of the National Arts Festival. Tony Lankaster is my guest now. It's so good to see you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thanks very much, Leanne. Thanks for making the journey from Gauteng, and I hope you find it as fulfilling as I think you're going to.
You know, I'm a little bit jealous of my team because the entire team has been here and they've been enjoying the weekend, and you know, I just managed to skid in here last night, and that's not fair. It's really not fair because there's so much happening. I mean, talk to me about what I'm missing out on.
There is, and you mentioned earlier the size and scale of it, but our constant refrain is it's not about the big numbers, it's not about the 220,000 tickets that we're going to sell, and all. It's about the one person. It's about the one person who comes along to the festival and has an amazing experience in the theatre, because we hear of these life-changing experiences that people have, and it's just theatre and the arts is a very intimate experience. So we talk about the one person, we talk about the one artist whose life has changed, or the technician who gets a job, and all those things add up collectively, create this amazing impact that the festival has. But it's really about the whole is far greater than the sum of the parts.
Listen, I think it's great news for you, and certainly in tough economic times like this, that we're seeing that the arts department, I'm seeing the Department of Arts and Culture renewed the contract, and it's now with 17 million rand for the next 3 years. It's an increase of 2 million rand. I mean, that's great news, and definitely a vote of confidence.
It absolutely is, but more than that, it gives us the opportunity to plan. So we can already sit down now and say, okay, we know this money is coming, so what are we going to do with it in 2017 and 2018? And for an arts organisation, that's quite a luxury, that long-term planning, and it is quite rare that one gets that level of planning or that amount of time to plan, because normally it's sort of hand to mouth, and what are we doing this week or this month? So it was a big boon, it is a big boon, and we're very grateful to it. And we obviously have the other big partners as well, the National Lottery, Standard Bank, and so on. And really we have this web of partnerships which pull the festival together. Because I think we appear to be this sort of big organisation, but in reality we're not. You know, in a good year we break even. So it's boons like that really do help, and they do help us sustain ourselves.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, let's just keep talking about money. I mean, I'm reading that 33% of the National Arts Festival's budget is sponsorships from corporate companies, and the rest really come from the public, from, I suppose, government and you know, the lotto, whatever. But, you know, we need more corporate involvement as well. That's the reality.
We do. The mix within the festival is much the same as it is at festivals around the world. So that 33% is not unusual, but economics, the economic environment is tough. And, you know, we heard this week that the petrol price is about to go up again. Those kind of things do have an impact. They have an impact on attendance. They have an impact on the mentality around traveling to big events like this. So this is when we really need corporates to step to the plate. And fortunately, certainly in Standard Bank, we have a partner that's been with us for several decades. And that kind of partnership, and it's not just a sponsorship anymore, it's a partnership. It can't be replicated overnight. It can't be replicated easily. But it is a tough economic times. It's hard for everyone, I think.
Yeah, it is, and it always seems to be the arts that struggles. Whenever anyone's cutting back, that's the place that they start cutting. Fringe artists, and the fringe really is. I mean, I suppose that's the most exciting portion of everything, and yet I see that it's got the smallest budget. So I suppose you have to divide that budget out. But why? What's your rationale?
The Fringe is an open access platform. Anyone can come participate in the Fringe. So in many respects, globally, it's one of the world's most democratic platforms. You know, you and I can fill in a form, and we'll be given a slot. There's no one telling us we're not good enough. There's no one telling us that we're going to select or jury or curate you in any way. So it is an open access platform. So we end up with about 350, 360 productions on the Fringe. Now that's obviously a massive number of artists and companies and so on who come down here at their own risk and stage their shows. So yes, it is hard for them, and there's a lot of hustling that has to go on for them to get audiences through the door so that they can make some money back. And it's great to see see artists market themselves, because very often that's an area that they neglect. But the Fringe is this giant beast that has to be wrangled, and from our point of view, from a management point of view, it's obviously the exciting part of the festival in many respects, because that's where, like Lankaster, who you heard earlier, that's where the next generation of stars is going to come from.
Yeah.
It is this platform that people can come, they can play, they can experiment, and there's less artistic pressure on them because they're there to explore, they're there to discover their own voices, and for audiences to discover them as well. And that's what makes the Fringe so exciting and so special, and that's where the hidden gems really lie.
Yeah. I'm hoping we hear from her again, which we are. We're going to definitely squeeze her in. And if viewers have just woken up, we've got a talent that we want to show you on the show this morning. She's absolutely amazing. I got a little bit of a rap on my knuckles from my producer a bit earlier. Leanne, it's not the Grahamstown Festival, it's the National Arts Festival. What are you saying? But rightly so, So I very quickly corrected myself. But at the end of the day, it is in the Eastern Cape, and it obviously contributes towards the economy of the province. I mean, what are we looking at? How much does it bring in?
Every couple of years we do a survey, because it doesn't change that much from year to year. So the last survey we've got is 2013. We're doing a new one right now in 2016. So at last count in 2013, the economic impact of the festival on the GDP of the province was about 340 million rand. And of that, 90 million rand is the GDP impact in Grahamstown. Now, for a province that desperately needs that kind of turnover, it's a massive event. We were talking to the East Cape Tourism CEO and chair yesterday, and they were highlighting what it does for tourism in the province and how it puts the province on the tourism map and on the list of options that foreign and national tourists use when they're deciding what it is that they want to see, where they want to travel to. So the impact is huge. It does come back down, though, to what I was talking about earlier, that Festival of One. Yeah. The festival directly employs about 400 people here in Grahamstown. Of those, about 75%, it's the only job they're going to have the whole year. Yeah. So it's really, it's those life-changing impacts that the festival can have that make it worthwhile.
Yeah. I mean, we focused on an election roadshow here in Grahamstown itself, and there is dire situations of a lot of the people, so it's a great moment for them to make some money. But listen, thank you. Thanks for joining us here on the program. Tony Lankaster, CEO of the National Arts Festival, talking to us about this magnificent festival that was running until the 10th of July, and just come and warm up your soul, because that's really what it does. The arts is absolutely amazing, and let's warm up your soul by having a look at this shot that we've got outside for you. The sun about to rise over Grahamstown this morning, and looking absolutely beautiful. It's so good to be here. But let me throw you back to the Johannesburg studios with us.